Well, good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the University of Alberta is located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. I'm Dr. Paul Major, the chair of the School of Dentistry, and I'll be your MC for this evening's event. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome the members of the class of 2023 and all family and friends to the School of Dentistry's 20th annual White Coat Ceremony. It's also my pleasure to welcome our special guests, University of Alberta President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Bill Flanagan, the Alberta Dental Association College CEO, Dr. Randall Kreutze, the Alberta Dental Association College President, Dr. Bruce Jacholinski, the Dental Alumni Association Representative, Dr. Jack Scott, the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry Dean, Dr. Brenda Himmelgarn, the Faculty of Nursing Dean and Interim College Dean of the College of Health Sciences, Dr. Greta Cummings, and the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry Vice Dean of Education, Dr. Shirley Schipper. And last but certainly not least, we welcome all of our faculty and support staff that are joining us this evening. Well, let's begin by acknowledging the fact that we really didn't think that we'd be celebrating this event online again this year, but here we are. However, if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's taught us that we can move forward with the important things no matter what. This is the 20th year for the School of Dentistry White Coat Ceremony. The White Coat event carries a prestigious undertone. It is one of pride, progress, and professionalism. You are now at a point where you will start putting your didactic skills and knowledge into practice on real patients. I wish to personally congratulate you on all of your achievements thus far, and there will be many more to come. To help us celebrate and to provide some inspirational thoughts, we have the pleasure of having a few important guests to provide greetings. I'd like to start by introducing our first speaker. Dr. Bill Flanagan is the 14th President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Alberta. He was born and raised in Alberta and was most recently the Dean of the Faculty of Law at Queen's University. Dr. Flanagan has an extensive record of leadership in post-secondary education and has served on major HIV/AIDS boards. He currently serves as the chair of the Canadian Foundation for AIDS Research National Working Group and has served as a board chair for the AIDS Committee of Toronto, which is Canada's largest community-based HIV service organization, as well as on the Ontario HIV Treatment Network and Canada AIDS Russia Project. He is now leading a major program of academic and administrative restructuring here at the University of Alberta. Dr. Flanagan.
Just unmute myself there. Well, thank you, Paul. And I'm really delighted to have an opportunity to join all of you this evening. Of course, we all wish it were in person, and I do look forward to white coat ceremonies in the future where I can be in person. And I didn't have a white coat, and I'm not a dentist, so I shouldn't be wearing a white coat, but I did wear my green and gold bow tie, which I thought might be appropriate for the occasion. And so thank you, Paul, for your kind remarks. And first and foremost, I really want to congratulate all of the honorees on this very important achievement. This is a key milestone in your education and in your career and in your service to the public good. And the white coat you're about to receive is a powerful symbol of professionalism and the highest ethical standards in healthcare. And I want to take a moment to recognize the instructors, the faculty, parents, partners, siblings, friends, family, all of whom are joining us today. And thank you for your unwavering support for all of the students here today. And in the 19th century, as you may know, doctors rarely wore white. In fact, they tended to wear black suits, kind of like lawyers, I guess. And it was the era before medical microbiology and antisepsis. And when a visit to the doctor might often mean a bleak prognosis. And both medicine and dentistry evolved, of course, into highly scientific practices. The white coat became a symbol of purity, including a dedication to science, compassion, and service in patient care. And as you prepare to enter your clinical studies and begin working with patients, take a moment to consider what this means. You join ranks of professionals whose patients look to them for the highest standard of care. You bring hope into their lives. And all of you have made a lot of sacrifices to be here today, and then no more than in the last year when, of course, we've all been dealing with the challenges posed by the COVID pandemic. And the Doctor of Dental Surgery program at our university, as you know, is highly competitive and very demanding. So I want each and every one of you to feel very proud of what you've achieved, just as I do, and no doubt your family and friends and all of your supporters are sharing in this moment with you. And for a second straight school year, this pandemic prevents us from holding the white coat ceremony in person. So much of our personal and professional lives are now online, and my heart particularly goes out to our students, because I know that university, of course, is a time when you learn a lot of things, but it's also a time when you have a lot of fun. And COVID has really gotten in the way of that kind of exchange and that social interaction, and that is so meaningful to our community. But healthcare providers, and such as dentists, even throughout COVID, have stayed on the front lines. The pandemic has not reduced the need for care, as we all know. In fact, problems of oral health have continued and indeed have emerged due to COVID-19. There's an impact of the disease itself, but it also impacts from extended mask wearing and stress, and health affects the entire body, and dentists are there to respond and will be critical to helping people fully recover from this pandemic. Henry Marshall Torrey founded the University of Alberta with a promise that knowledge shall not alone be the concern of scholars. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal. And our dental program was founded less than a decade after the U of A was founded, making it Western Canada's oldest school of dentistry. And Torrey's pledge to use education for the public good remains a pillar of our institution and a pillar of the School of Dentistry. During your clinical studies, some of you may choose to volunteer with the Boyle Macaulay Health Center Dental Clinic through the SHINE program. And this is a program started almost 30 years ago by U of A dental students. And the SHINE program provides low-cost care to more than 3,000 people every year. So community service, exceptional teaching, and research, these are the hallmarks of the School of Dentistry. And few exemplify this tradition more than Professor Emeritus Jeffrey Sperber. 60 years after he arrived in Edmonton and began teaching, Dr. Sperber remains a fixture at the university. I had the great pleasure of meeting Dr. Sperber last year during the announcement of a historic gift toward new health sciences library and dental museum space. And I have to tell you that Dr. Sperber is an extraordinarily generous man. In fact, I got a handwritten note from him today thanking me for a note that I'd sent him, and just such a gentleman and so committed to the university and really to all of our students. And he is the embodiment, really, of the white coat that you will soon wear. So you're joining a proud tradition today, one that is woven into the story of our province. More than 40% of the dentists and hygienists practicing in Alberta graduated from the University of Alberta. So our province and our university have embarked on a new chapter as we recover and grow through economic, health, and social challenges. We are pushing forward new ideas and making new discoveries. Healthcare professionals like you will be part of this new energy and allow us to stay strong as we build together a brighter future. As you slip on your white coat, I hope that you take a moment to think how you will contribute to the recovery and renewal of the world that needs it now more than ever. So once again, to the Doctor of Dental Surgery class of 2023, warmest congratulations. And I wish you tremendous success in your future career in dentistry. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Flanagan. We're honored that you could join us this evening and for your inspirational words to our students. I'd like now to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry, Dr. Brenda Himmelgarn, to give greetings on behalf of the faculty. Dr. Himmelgarn joined the University of Alberta as the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry on January 1st of 2020. Previously, she was a professor in the Department of Medicine and head of the Department of Community Health Sciences at the University of Calgary's Cummings School of Medicine. Dr. Himmelgarn has more than 36 years of experience in healthcare, including working as a practicing nurse, physician, researcher, academic, and administrator. She's a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada and a fellow of the Canadian Academy of Health Sciences. Dr. Himmelgarn.
Thank you, Dr. Major, and good evening, everyone. It's an honor to join you this evening to share in this celebration of this milestone for the Doctor of Dentistry class of 2023 as you officially accept your white coats. This year, as Dr. Majors indicated, is the 20th anniversary of white coat celebrations here in the School of Dentistry. And the white coat is a deeply ingrained and historic symbol of ethics and professionalism in healthcare. It represents your dedication to hard work and lifelong learning, but it also signifies your compassion and your commitment to putting the patient at the center of everything that you do. It's a privilege to wear this white coat, a privilege that comes with significant responsibility as well. And as your leaders and professors and mentors, we hold ourselves to the highest code of conduct. And this evening, by donning your white coats, you are committing to that same code of conduct. You are promising to build your education and training on the foundations of integrity, ethical behavior, and respect for your patients and their loved ones. This year, you have already shown great dedication in the face of challenges brought on by the global pandemic. And as you take this step toward clinical practice, I have every confidence that you will carry yourself with the same resilience, pride, and professionalism you have called upon to help thrive during this time. And I know you'll also excel in this phase of training thanks to your own drive and work ethic, but also thanks to a thriving network of enthusiastic alumni and the excellent instructors in this faculty, all of whom are here to guide and support you. I want you to know that you are the future of dentistry in this city and in this province and across the country. And I want to thank you for your commitment to caring with compassion and a continued focus on excellence for all of the diverse communities that you will serve. So I want to join Dr. Major and Dr. Flanagan in congratulating everyone. I wish you all the best as you embark on this next chapter in your professional life, and know that we are all so proud of you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Dr. Hemmelgarn, for your time today and for your support of our School of Dentistry and its programs. I would now like to invite Dr. Bruce Jacholinski, the president of the Alberta Dental Association College, to give greetings on behalf of the college. Dr. Jacholinski graduated from the University of Saskatchewan in 1982 with a DMD with distinction. He practiced general dentistry for 6 years before returning to graduate school at the University of Minnesota, where he received his master's degree in periodontology. Since 1993, he's been a registered dental specialist in Alberta with a private practice in Calgary. Dr. Jacholinski has been on the council of the Alberta Dental Association College since 2015 and is currently serving as president. Dr. Jacholinski.
Thank you, Dean Major and President Flanagan, Dean Hemmelgarn, but most importantly, the dental class of 2023. Thank you for the invitation to the white coat ceremony. It's always an honor and a privilege to talk to the students of the University of Alberta School of Dentistry. What an exciting part of your education you're about to take. This is where your preclinical skills and your knowledge come together and you start to apply them. I can still remember the first day in clinic, very nervous, very excited, and trying to put all those things that you have in your head into practice. This is where your professionalism really begins to grow. So when you're in the clinic, get as much experience as you can, do as many procedures as you can. As Simon Sinek said, don't show up to prove, show up to improve. Another comment that's quite interesting from a Zen Buddhist was, how you do anything is how you do everything. Quality is always job number one. Always plan for the fact that no plan ever goes according to plan. And again, that's from Simon Sinek. Use your clinical instructors wisely and ask lots of questions. If you work at the Shine Clinic, and I really hope you will volunteer, look in the eyes of that vulnerable population. This should give you what the true meaning of being a health provider really is. Treat all of your patients as if they're your mother. On behalf of the Alberta Dental Association and College and all of the dentists of Alberta, congratulations and good luck in your clinic.
Thank you, Dr. Jacholinski. I'd now like to turn the program over to Dr. Stephen Patterson, Associate Chair for Academic, to give the charge to the students. Dr. Patterson.
Well, President Flanagan and Dean Hemmelgarn, and Dr. Major and Dr. Jacholinski, all of our faculty and the students and family and friends, and in particular our class of 2023. I am grateful and appreciate this opportunity to be part of this white coat ceremony for our class of 2023 and to give a charge to our students that are receiving their white coats today. As was mentioned, this ceremony has now occurred here in our department for the last 20 years. And there have been many who have questioned, well, what is a white coat ceremony? You know, we don't wear white coats traditionally anymore in clinical settings. Why is it being held? What is the value? This is a ceremony. It is an opportunity for us to reflect upon our profession and who we are as dentists. And it's really where the mantle of healthcare provider, represented by a symbol, the white coat, is recognized and personally placed on each student's shoulders by individuals who believe in the student's ability to be a compassionate and caring healthcare provider. And as was mentioned, noting your progression, the progression of dental students from a more classroom and laboratory and technical learning towards learning as they provide patient care. It is a demonstration of faith and a hope for the future of our dental profession. To some, however, the image of white coat or even the title of doctor has become a symbol of entitlement or elitism or professional hierarchy, a feeling that somehow our education has made us better than others. It can also sometimes symbolize social and economic privilege and membership in a club to which we also control access, a symbol of power and authority rather than one of caring, compassion, and humility. We must guard against viewing professionalism as something that sets us apart and creates a barrier between us and our patients. We as members of the dental profession, as educators, as your parents and your loved ones, we have faith in you as the future of this profession. You've earned the right to be here today, to receive this coat, and you've worked hard and sacrificed much to get this far. You've already sworn oaths early in your educational program to behave as a professional should and to accept the obligations that come with being a dentist. You must, however, guard against thinking that you are somehow entitled to the coat, entitled to the education, and that your initial acceptance into a profession means that you will always be a part of it. While we have confidence that you are and will continue to be valued members of the dental profession, you must take responsibility for ensuring that this comes about and is throughout your career. We will certainly guide you in your education, but it is you who must learn and acquire the necessary skills. Patients will come to you for help, and it is you who must be competent to care for them, and you who must deal with the ethical dilemmas that face us in practice every day. The challenge then really becomes, how do I become a professional? What does it truly mean to be that professional? The vast majority of dentists strive to be ethical and do the best for their patients. But unfortunately, professions will often be judged by their worst members. You may see behavior at times by possibly your peers, or maybe even an instructor, by other dentists in practice that isn't always what's expected of professionals. The challenge is to not be dragged down to that level by saying, well, everyone does it, or it doesn't matter. Rather, to rise above the few who may behave in unethical or unprofessional ways, and choose yourself to be a professional in every sense of the word. The white coat, obviously, is merely an outer covering. It doesn't change what's inside. Only we can determine what is inside, what is our motivation, whether we will be ethical and moral. David Ozar, who is the author of the book Dental Ethics at Chairside, writes, "Dentistry is a profession, and dentists are clinicians rather than craftspeople, precisely because their decisions are moral choices." Now, in several of our classes in the curriculum on ethics, we consider ethical dilemmas that arise in dental practice. We learn to identify alternatives of action and weigh the obligations and decide and learn how to come to decisions about the best actions to take. But ultimately, in real life, it comes down to making choices. It is by our actions that professionals are defined. Aristotle said, "How one does what one does is as important as what one does." Let me repeat that. How one does what one does is as important as what one does. So it's about who we are and how we act. On another level, John E. Gurley wrote, "It is a truism that it is not what one may say or do that counts most. It is what one is." So as we contrast both the knowing and the doing, it's been noted as an example that an ethical person knows it's wrong to cheat, but a moral person chooses not to cheat. So the question may critically be asked of all of us: where are the moral heroes who will make moral choices to act in this way? Can we teach moral courage? Where are those who will have the courage to uphold their integrity and make choices consistent with their beliefs and with the obligations that dentistry carries towards our patients and our communities? Yeo and Ford, in their book, Cases and Concepts of Nursing Ethics, wrote, "People of integrity have certain incorruptibility and unwillingness to yield their values and principles, even when the pressures to do so are so great." So for much of our educational experience, and you've already seen this and will continue to see this, we operate under the supervision and careful eye of other dentists. The question then will arise, what will we do when no one is looking? Plato, in his great work, The Republic, referred to the story of Gyges the Lydian, who in a series of fortuitous events came into possession of a powerful ring that, when it was turned on his finger, would render the wearer invisible. He was privy to seeing and hearing things that normally would not be witnessed. He could take anything he wanted, as it would not be seen who had stolen the items. It was thus argued that such a ring, or the opportunity of being unseen or unobserved, could test even the most just man or woman. As you leave this institution, completing your degree, and go forward to practice on your own, most often unobserved or unsupervised, in essence, wearing the ring of Gyges, how will you act when you are not supervised or observed? What will you choose to do? Trust is the key to our dentist-patient relationships. That feeling on the part of the patient that a dentist holds their well-being above all other personal considerations. Patients are so anxious for this. They desire to be able to trust us. I still remember one of my first examples that showed me the power that those kind of trusting relationships can have in my private practice that I had in Wetaskiwin. A family had been coming regularly to see me at my office for a few years, and were then moving to a town north of Edmonton. It was going to be about a 3-hour drive from Wetaskiwin, and I really suspected I would never see them again. To my surprise, at the time of their next regular recall examinations, there they were back in my office. I had asked, "Hey, did you move back to Wetaskiwin?" They indicated no, but that they had valued so much the relationship and service that they had received from our dental team that they planned a visit to their relatives back in Wetaskiwin and had it coincide with dental appointments in the office, which was a 3-hour trip each way and a stayover. And it really showed me that trust and confidence are cherished by patients and are at the heart of our obligations, the value that we bring to those we serve. Now, there are many who argue that society has changed sufficiently that ethics maybe are no longer valued or desired. Ethical standards will certainly always be in flux as society changes and flows, but the need for moral heroes who exhibit the courage to do what is right, regardless of the sacrifice or the relative difficulty of the way, is greater than ever. Doing the right thing is not always the easy thing to do. Our patients are people, and they're not the 4-6 MOD composite in chair 2. They're not the tooth 1-1 endo. They're not the gagger in operatory 3. They deserve to be treated as people, as individuals to be cared for, to receive from us all that our profession can offer them. Even, and maybe most especially, those who will be your patients over the next few years, as you, as novice learners, hone your skills as a dentist in providing that care. This is the lofty goal, the symbol of the white coat, something to aspire to in terms of our professional behavior, one which is rarely achieved all the time, but for which each of us must strive on a constant basis to achieve. The future of our profession and your ability collectively and individually to benefit society and also bring about a happy, rewarding life and career for yourselves will hang upon your shoulders as the future of this profession. We, as members of society, as family, as members of the dental profession, as your mentors, we charge you, the class of 2023, as recipients of these white coats, as professionals in development, as those even now at early stages in your career being trusted by patients to care for their lives, their oral health and their well-being and their fears, to uphold the symbol of the white coat that you received today. If this is truly what motivates each one of you, the future will be bright indeed. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. I'd now like to invite Kevin Newman and Emily Barlow to give the student response on behalf of the class of 2023.
Thank you for your wisdom, Dr. Patterson. We really appreciate what you shared with us, and we'll gladly take it to heart. Hello, fellow classmates, family members, and the faculty of dentistry. My name is Kevin Newman.
And I'm Emily Barlow. I have to say, you all look really great. I have almost completely forgotten what you look like without a mask on.
We've been asked to address this class about our upcoming transition into the clinic. Of course, I would like to use an analogy, one of the traveler. You see, I think we're all on a journey, whether we realize it or not. We first started this adventure with unbridled excitement and wide eyes. We had our brand new red backpacks. We truly were the first ones starting into unknown territory with this new curriculum, and there were limited possibilities, and the future was truly unknown. And so with this analogy, I'd like to break it down to 3 sections. 1, the supplies we bring. 2, having the goal in mind. And 3, the ever-changing lands and people. It begins as we set off with our supplies that we prepare. You know how you pack, store provisionals, and prepare for a long journey? But no matter what, you always forget that one thing at home. That's where we are right now. We're excited, but uncertain. We have learned so much, but at the back of our minds, we have that doubt. We feel like we're just forgetting something. But we can liken our supplies to the learnings we've had from lectures and our adventures in SimLab.
We've come a long ways.
Remember our woes in SimLab with our first wax up?
Yes. And do you remember learning humility from our very first crown preps?
And literal pain after our first injections on each other.
Oh, yeah. So far, everything we've learned has been pretty clear-cut and pretty straightforward. We've been working on these perfect plastic teeth in the lab. And our mannequins, well, they've seldom complained about the procedures that we've done on them so far. Our time in the sim lab has been full of small victories, maybe some broken provisionals, and maybe 1 or 2 missing hand pieces.
Good one, Emily.
Sorry, Jacob. Our learning so far has been on such a diverse set of topics, and it's been hard to pull them all together, but we're about to start applying them to real patients. I know it seems a little bit daunting that we're approaching uncharted lands, but have confidence in the tools that you're bringing and the skills that you've learned. We aren't empty-handed, and we've got lots of tools in our belt.
Secondly, the goal. The thing about the traveler is that they'll unknowingly wander off the trail, and they're going to encounter many obstacles. But to reference Mr. Tolkien, not all who wander are lost.
You know, as we look forward to patient care, I think most of us can safely say we're just a little bit nervous.
But that's okay, because that means that you're thinking, and you're aware of your own current limitations.
We're all going to get a little lost and overwhelmed in the process, but we can't lose sight of what we're doing, because caring for the patient comes first and foremost. When they're in our chair, they're not just a patient, but they're our priority. And we're more than a student in that moment. We're actually a professional who's here to listen and strive to provide the best care possible. It's likely that some days we're going to have that one tooth that's going to cause us so much anguish, but we can't get lost in that. We have to look at the bigger picture. That tooth belongs to someone. Dr. Stevenson has been telling us since day one to never, ever treat a stranger. So each tooth belongs to someone, and we should get to know them and be prepared to treat not just patients, but our neighbors and our fellow community members.
We may stray from the path and get lost, but with this goal in mind, we can always find our way back. Now, thirdly, as a traveler, we visit all sorts of places with the lands ever changing, and the people we will meet will come from all walks of life.
As future dentists, being flexible and innovative will be a total asset to dealing with an ever-changing landscape. We find ourselves today in a very unique position to be able to witness the dentists and dental staff at the faculty, showing us what it means to be a professional in a completely unexpected and unprecedented circumstance. I'd like to take a moment to thank the teaching and administration staff for all their hard work over the past 5 years. I say 5 because before my class even was accepted to this program, they spent 4 years planning out a brand new curriculum for us. They planned it out for 4 years, they implemented it, and then COVID-19 hit, and they had to replan the whole thing in just a few weeks. And then they've had to deal with obstacles and different roadblocks that have come up over the past year as we've navigated this strange landscape together. So thank you so much for all that you've done for us and for helping us become the best dentist that we can be.
So on our journey through strange lands, we'll never know who we'll meet along the way. We must be able to speak the common tongue, while also able to converse with kings. As such, there's a level of professionalism that we need to maintain, as the public is trusting us as oral healthcare providers. Dentistry is frankly quite complicated. There are a lot of factors at play, and as we strive to provide the best care, we can't get lost in the details. We need to explain what's happening in a way that our patients understand so that they can make an informed decision. How we behave facilitates this process as well. We're now seen as junior dentists, especially by our patients. Now, it's a daunting mountain that we have to climb, but every day, we're one day closer as we gain clinical experience, just like we witnessed new lands.
There's going to be hiccups, bumps in the road, things that don't go as planned, but these will be learning opportunities. They're going to help us stretch, they're going to help us grow into dentists who are really well equipped to take care of their patients and their neighbors' needs. Thankfully, we have some really great guides in the faculty coming along this journey with us.
We're only halfway through our journey, but remember, we're in this together. Although there's going to be many more obstacles along the path, there's 3 things I want you to recall. Have comfort in the supplies that you've brought. Keep the goal in mind, and adapt to the lands and remember the people we've met along the way. When this journey comes to an end, I hope we can all look back fondly and say, it was worth it.
Congratulations on your white coat ceremony, classmates.
Well, thank you, Kevin and Emily, for your very thoughtful response to the charge. We'd now like to share with you a video of the students receiving their white coats from the comprehensive care team.
Nicole Adriano, Kevin Carrion. Maria Sis. Sheldon Fredette. Conrad Lehman. Brittany Logan. Graydon Winkler. Michael Wu. Emily Barlow. Brian Chang. Luann DeGuy. Andy Kim. Adam Manfred. John McHale. Nguyen. Ed Gu. Natalia Boyko. Keelan Ellerby. Brendan Kalin. Rachel Liu. Nicole McDonald. Dirk Oviet. Jake Shepian. Ethan Webster. Janice Choi. Naeem Hediatapur. James Kwan. Lena Lim. Adam McCourt. Jacob Park. Cole Wake. Jenna Wazinski.
Welcome back. I'm glad that we were able to provide a safe opportunity for you to be presented with your coats. This concludes the program, but before everyone leaves, I'd like to thank the organizing committee, Julianne Kanko, Tarwinder Rai, Cheryl Delorier, and Drs. Gaudette Amigo and Drs. Patterson for organizing this evening's celebration. We hope you enjoyed the videos and we'll share them with your family and friends. Once again, congratulations, class of 2023. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Glad you could participate. Have a great evening.